Hi Marcus. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So what I have here today is probably one of the best awarding cars on the Grand Tour, the Nissan Juke, and this is not any ordinary Juke model. This is the N-Sport variant. So there's a lot more to like about this vehicle. So again, I'd like to thank my cousin for making this review possible. And this specific car is for sale. So if you wanna check out this vehicle, her contact details will be in the description down below. Now, for the looks of this Juke, I leave it to you in the comments down below. But this is mainly a hit or miss for everyone. But personally, I'm kind of okay with the look of this Juke. Yes, it may not be the best looking vehicle out there, but that's what gives it a unique look in the first place. So you get LED DRLs up above here, and your main headlights are just down below. But these are all halogen. But it's okay at that time because remember, this is a 2019 model year and it's still kind of fresh in my eyes. This now being the N-Sport variant, there's an addition of kits now, hence it gives a more sportier look. And these are running on 215, 55, and 17 series tires. So at that time, this was already, I would say, groundbreaking already, having 17-inch wheels on a crossover. And then fast forward already 6 years later, yeah, this is kind of like the norm already. You have side mirrors with a very unique repeater. The side profile itself, it's your usual cladding. And if not mistaken, this Juke started it all with all of the claddings here and there. Powering this 2019 Nissan Juke N-Sport is a 1.6-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine with 116 horsepower and 157 Newton meters of torque, and mated to their ever-famous Xtronic CVT transmission. So yes, I know the stories with the CVT transmission, but I want to give a fair assessment once I drive this later on. Now here at the rear of this Nissan Juke N-Sport, and hence the name itself, you get N-Sport decals here along with an additional red spoiler. And I like they integrated the decal over here with the spoiler. It's not like some other brands or dealers, they just stick on and bolt on it, say it's a limited edition. And hence, they did another thing here at the rear, an addition of rear skirts. Not a diffuser, don't worry guys, it's just a normal skirt. And for me personally, it doesn't look too bad with this white and red combination. It looks pretty good in my opinion. And you get an N-Sport badge here now, just below the Juke badge itself. Halogen rear taillight assemblies. I'll be honest, this part here looks a little bit Volvo-ish and some other Chinese brands that I tried out. Now, overall at the rear, it looks pretty okay. Yeah, that's all I have to say. It's pretty okay. Anyways, for the boot space, this is why this Nissan Juke was kind of popular too in the first place back then because of its practicality. So you have a total here of 297 liters. You can literally fit a few suitcases here, just I think 2 max. And yeah, sitting in here is pretty easy. There's not even a load lip. I mean, it's just like that, just the size of my hand, the height. Height? Anyway, and underneath you get, oh, just an extra storage here as evidence, like that. Oh. So I know there was supposed to be a spare tire over here, but I don't see it present whatsoever. And of course, it will double once you fold all of the seats down, which is still pretty generous. Now, this is the interior of this all-new Nissan Juke. For this N-Sport van, there's a nice detail here. You get illuminated panels with the Juke logo itself. Now, let's sit inside. Here in the door card, it's pretty plain, but at least you get fabric soft touches for your elbow. And let's start her up. Visually, this was back then pretty great, I guess. Being the N-Sport van, you get an additional 6.75-inch Blancpain infotainment system. So there's, of course, great audio system. And you have a phone link which can connect Android and iPhone devices. So I know this history with these infotainment systems. They're not the best out there, to be honest. But it makes up for it. You have a reverse camera with lines, but that's pretty much it. It's not, they're not dynamic guidelines whatsoever. But hey, what am I to complain about? At least there still is. And the other edition, you get Blancpain dashcam. Now that's more like it. So I understand now why my cousin got this in the first place. So they don't have to buy this separately anymore. And here on the left side of the dashboard, excuse me, it's really dark here in the parking lot. You get 3 blanks and controls for your side mirror and headlight leveler adjustments, along too with folding for the side mirrors itself. Steering wheel, okay, pretty okay. It's a bit chunkier, but I like the polyurethane material. You get your cruise control buttons on the right side and your phone connectivity and radio buttons on the left side. When I say phone connectivity, like only Bluetooth for picking up and declining calls. Analog tachometer and speedometer with an orange display right in the middle. So it displays only like for your fuel economy, your odometer trips, and so on. That's pretty much it. And fuel range too. Now, nice quirk with this Nissan Juke. So first time I've encountered this, I saw provision here up front. So I thought there was like a heads-up display, but no, there's like a weird hole. This may look like a cost-cutting measure, but to think of it, you can just put a holder here and put your phone here instead. So, interesting quirk. So I think Nissan designers here with this Juke planned ahead in the future for second-hand buyers. I'm just making everything so sarcastic. Anyways, another quirk too with this Nissan Juke. So you get your climate control functions, but if you press this D mode, so it swaps now to your driving modes. And yes, what you see there, guys, is a torque meter. I have no idea why you need this. But you have normal mode, sport mode, eco mode. Of course, we're just gonna leave it in normal, and more driving information. I don't mind it because they're all buttons. Again, not like the current cars you get in 2025. Touch here in the infotainment system. Where's the aircon? No, for this one, on, off. Simple as that. And further down, you get an extra cubby space along with an aux cord, Type A USB port, and a 12-volt socket right here on the right side. And gear shifter, pretty standard, PR and DL. And you have an overdrive function button here too. So that means there's two buttons here. And another, I keep saying quirk now, I'm not dog demo, relax. So the center console itself kind of mimics like that of a motorcycle fuel tank. Yeah, I see what they mean. And further behind, you get two cup holders. The design themselves look like fidget spinners or the laser targets of predators, manual handbrake, and two more extra cubby spaces for even for your rear occupants. Glove box. What the? That is the deepest glove box I've ever known. I think even my head can fit inside there. Wow. And perks too of this being the N-Sport variant, you get red trims all around these leather seats. And I like it because it withheld the test of time. The leather is not yet saggy that much. There's no like, what I would say dense. I don't know the proper term for the leather, sorry. Yeah, there's no like scratches or holes in them. Yeah, held up really well. And above you get your usual halogen lights, and then sun visor. You get vanity mirror on either side. Back in 2019, huh? Oh, you don't extend. Oh yeah, nice quirk too. I love the hazard button design. Kinda looks like an extra gauge. Even upon getting here in the rear of this Nissan Juke, how to open this? The door handles are on the pillar. Kinda similar now what you get in the current Honda HRVs. Well, Honda HRVs in general. Here in the door cards, pretty much the same like the ones in front. Feet room and knee room's actually pretty good. And then headroom, about that much. I don't mind it since this was kind of like one of the first mass market crossovers you can buy here in the Philippines back then. It's still pretty spacious. Even with my cousin, with their experiences going to, well, LU and all that. 3 people here at the rear, easy peasy. So if I sit here in the middle, yeah, there's a large transmission tunnel, but it's kind of wide, but at least you can simply put your feet up. It's all right. You get 2 map pockets on either side, and the seats here is pretty much the same like the ones in front. You only get the red stitches. There's no central armrest and all that. Right. Now let's take this bad boy for a spin. So first impressions now with this Nissan Juke. Finally got to drive this vehicle, and I can tell already. Look how far the steering wheel is. You only get tilt for this one if I can find the latch. Yeah, it's not telescopic, but I guess it's not so bad. If I put myself close, I'm a bit uncomfortable now with the pedals. All I can say is one thing, good, because it's a crossover with almost hatchback or sedan-like proportions. The ride, as demo, is really good. And now I understand now why this Juke is one of the most popular cars back then. And this car started the crossover craze too back then. With the driving modes, I just set it first now here in normal. Let's try now. eco and then floor it. Okay, just a little bit delay, but normal. Okay, just a little bit better. And then let's try now sport mode. Ah, that's not so bad. Brakes is pretty good too. It has a kind of like a firm pedal. That's a little bit sportier than usual. And the CVT itself, the very famous Xtronic CVT, is not so bad as I expected. It's responsive in a way, but it's not the, again, the sportiest thing to drive out there. And then a little bit of a horn test. And for the fuel economy too, it's not too bad either. So just around here in BGC, I've been averaging, it says here in the trip computer, 8.5 kilometers per liter. That's pretty alright, and probably a Goldilocks standard for very efficient, fuel efficient crossovers. And here off the line, I'm in normal mode. I removed it from sport mode at the moment. Yeah, it gets off the line pretty quickly. And with the visibility, C-pillar is not so bad. If you're planning to do a 3-point turn, it's pretty easy to look out. One thing I noticed immediately with the design of this vehicle, you have a very long hood. You can actually see the DRLs from in here in the cabin. I find that really, really hilarious. The steering feel too is pretty alright. It's very light, but again, I don't see any steering modes here to adjust the heft of this vehicle. But overall, it's pretty light. But if I were to buy a Nissan, it's gonna be the crazy Juke or the one with the GTR engine. Anyway, that doesn't exist here in the Philippines. But as a daily, I see and understand now why there's still a lot of this on our roads, because it's a very nice, comfortable cruiser. And if you want to overtake someone too, it gets the job pretty well. Yeah, 116 may not sound much, but it's still not too bad for for today's standards. I get up to speed in no time. The NVH, even according to my cousin, it's alright too. Yeah, you can hear a lot of tire noise coming here to the cabin. Hence, these are running on 17 inches. But the rest is pretty okay. Yeah, you can hear a little bit of the loud motorcycles passing by. And here, a little bit of a handling test. You can tell the suspension is tuned more on the softer side of things. So there's just a tad of body roll. But then again, it's alright. And here, a little bit of a burst test. So let's try now sport mode. And maneuvering this around in the city is pretty okay too. How about that? And one final time. Whee! So, now for the cost of this Juke N-Sport, back when it was brand new, this was around like 1.1 million pesos. I couldn't find the exact price. But now for this specific one, this one is at 650,000 pesos. And the price is negotiable thanks to my cousin over here. So yeah, that is my quick dive with this with this older Nissan Juke N-Sport. And I'm very happy that I was able to drive it now. So, hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more second-hand reviews coming right up. Bye-bye.